Hello YouTube, this is Insane Monster, and we are here for the beginning part of what if Ichigo had Reaper Sans' powers. Now then, with that being said, this is picked by the What If Lotto and such, and as for why I've been gone, life, basically, job, all that, and taking care of some other stuff, but before we get started, hit it. Now then, as like with most of the AUs in the Underverse, only a sand was left as if the rest was destroyed. But this one wasn't destroyed by a destroyer of worlds per se, like Error or others of similar nature, but by the corruption of their very world itself. Being beings that represented aspects of the world at large, life was gone, and many things were also just disappearing. War, wisdom, until each of the gods just began to be corrupted and turned to dust. This, obviously, going to the last of the gods, who represented the end of everything. This would be Papyrus and Sans, the gods who represented and controlled death, who guided the souls of the recently deceased to the afterlife. As a last-ditch effort, Papyrus grabbed a hold of Sans and threw him through an open portal in their reality, protecting Sans from the corruption that their world was facing as he succumbed to it, telling his brother that he will always care about him. The gate shut, Sans just couldn't bear it, as he found himself in an odd hallway that looked as though it connected to all kinds of worlds. He walked around for quite a bit, looking to see for a world he could find a place to sleep. As one of the entrances popped open, he saw a young boy going to a girl, but it was odd. There was something sticking out of this girl into the river. The mother plunged forward and was killed by some kind of monster. The girl that the boy was trying to help was actually some sort of bait that was a protrusion coming out of this creature in a white mask. The woman who had orange hair and a chain coming off of her chest, being held up by the creature. Sans summoned his scythe and gripped it, stating, "Enough!" This sending a chill down the creature's spine, if he had one, that is, as without warning he lost his hand he held the woman's soul in. Sans pointed his scythe at him, stating, "I will not let anyone else be corrupted." Looking at this monster, he could tell it was born through the corruption of a human soul. But before he could do anything about it, it disappeared as if it went into a rift in space. Coughing, he looked at the woman, then looked at the boy. Must have been his, must be her son. Taking a look as the woman stood still, just not knowing what to say to this skeleton who had black wings protruding from his back and a scythe. Examining the boy, he smirked, which he found it odd for a skeleton to do. Looking at the woman, he stated, "It's fine, ma'am. He's alive. You, however, I'm sorry." He stood up, stated, "I know, but thank you anyways. That hollow would have devoured me. But what are you?" As Ant remarked, "Can't you tell? I'm the Grim Reaper. Death. Or at least that's what you humans call me. In truth, my name is Sans." As remarks, "But you're not a Soul Reaper." Used by this term, he remarks, "I do reap souls, but I've never been called a Soul Reaper. I mostly go by the title Grim Reaper. Guys, but what is a Soul Reaper?" As he noticed some familiar power to his own coming off of this boy, this living human boy. He looked over at the mother and stated, "I'm imagining what the sensation I'm feeling from your son has to do with this Soul Reaper you were talking about." Flinching, he didn't know what to say. But if this really wasn't a joke at all, he wasn't a hollow, obviously. And he wasn't a Soul Reaper either, given his appearance and the fact that he did send that hollow packing in complete and utter terror. He caved and told him what she knew. So, holding some stuff back from the audience, we do a bit of a little jump to after the explanation, as Sans looks at the boy, stating, "I see. It appears these Soul Reapers are quite numerous apparently, and act in a similar fashion as me, or as my brother did." He looked at the woman, stating, "I'm sorry, but I cannot bring you back. All I can do is make sure you pass, and I'll also keep an eye on him. I don't got much. But if those monsters of corruption are roaming this world, I can't really do anything but try to stop them. However, from what you said, it appears your son, as well as your other family members, may be targeted, including your still quite young twin's daughters, correct?" He looked at him, stating, "Why would you?" He just laughed, stating, "I lost so much. And in protecting your child, you lost your life. And now, him, siblings are in danger. As someone who doesn't have anything left, I could at least give what little I can to him in order to make sure he can protect your family." As she bowed, thanking him, he laughed, stating, "You know, this is might be the first time a human actually thanked me." As he just laughed, finding the irony of a human thanking the Grim Reaper. Mostly he just had sometimes he got annoyed with his job due to the fact he had to deal with humans souls kicking and screaming, not wanting to go to the afterlife and leave their family. Even, well, it was more common for the humans who were going to hell to be kicking and screaming, which he always found annoying. So, using his scythe, he taps it on the chain in the woman's chest, begins to illuminate and pass. She smirks, stating, "It's different from what I imagined, almost pleasant." As he laughed, stating, "Well, you're by far my most pleasant customer I've ever had in so many millennia. So, perhaps that's why. Oh, and don't worry. After this, I'm sure your son will work bone tired in order to make sure to keep your family safe." As he actually had a slight chuckle, stating, "That's a terrible joke." As Sans last remarking, "Still made you laugh a little, didn't it? That's all I need." As he passed, taking another look at the boy and what he promised he had to fulfill. First things first, though, he had to check his soul to see what kind he had. Upon examining it, it turned out to be orange, one of bravery. He smirked, stating, "Hmm, I suppose that does fit." As his own soul emerges, and he extends it into Ichigo's soul as they merge. He remarks as he begins to disappear, "Let's see if you can do better than me, kid. I have high hopes for what you are capable of in your possibility." After that, we see Ichigo's reaction to everything when he wakes up in a hospital bed, attending the funeral and such. As he just finds himself on the roof of his house thinking, then he feels something. An odd sensation creeps up. When he turns around and looks, trying to find what it isn't that he can see it, more that he can feel it. When he wanted to see what was going on, he suddenly just found himself in a completely different place. He teleported without knowing. Not not typically in the sense of point A and point B, but on instinct, going towards the relative area of the feeling of corruption. As he took a look, he saw what looked to be a girl that he could tell was a ghost. As he saw her with transparent feet and a chain sticking out of her chest, a monster looming over her. He runs towards the monster, yelling at it to get away. The monster looking at him, going to attack him instead, as he seems to be much juicier prey. When he tries to think about what to do, something odd happens. This black aura enveloped him. His eyes just turned black as a scythe emerged in his hand. Without thinking, he just swung what was ever in his hand and stuck it into the mask of the beast. Normally, such little damage wouldn't do much, though something else happened. It was being purified in the same way that the Soul Reapers do, but it was also being broken down, destroying the corrupt, destroying it. Although it seemed a bit resilient as it tried to fight it, with it Staggering around, he saw another opportunity and swung again, this time burying the scythe into the hollow's face. As this killed it, was just disappeared. The ghost girl, seeing this, was scared. As Joe walked up to her, he thought, "Hey, what is this? Do I know how to do this? Does it feel second nature?" As he points the sights at the girl and states, "You can rest peace now." Tapping her chain with the scythe, he begins to light up. He cries a bit, stating, "Thank you," and disappears. After that, he snapped out of it, fully realizing that he went all instinct and just killed a monster and sent a human child soul to the afterlife. Only then did he realize he was holding a Reaper's scythe covered in this black aura stuff that formed a hooded cloak. As he figured he should probably get out of here, the aura extended into black wings as he began to fly. Panicking a little bit, he stated, What? Ah!" As he breathed at trying to calm himself and figured this out, something happened. He began to see a few scattered memories. Memories of Sans giving his soul to him, and the memories of what Sans was capable of. No way. As he just realized, he's more or less a Grim Reaper now. Though not really sure how to feel about that, but he felt good protecting that ghost girl from that monster. As time went on, he tried different things. He found out he can summon two scythes, each with chains at the other end of the long shaft, which allowed him to control them freely. He also found out that he can make some form of dragon-like skull blaster. And when he tried to look at it in his own soul, he just saw this orange soul with a upside down white heart, with his own being orange. Taking this as it is from the scattered memories he saw, tried to focus the orange light that came off of his soul. It took a bit of trial and error, as most of the time he tried to do something, it just kind of blew up a little bit. Not enough to really cause him any harm, but enough to knock him on his butt. So he just kept at it. Until bones began to form, mixing in with his orange soul magic, creating a bow. A bone orange lightning. And as he drew it back, a white bone arrow formed. As he shot it, it did cause a good bit of damage. Luckily, he was doing this in the woods, otherwise he'd be scolded about the 5 trees that just got ran through and toppled to the ground. With the boulder behind them being split in two. Tried to keep it secret and such, while also going out night after night, taking down hollows, sending souls on their way. He did feel the occasional flux, something with similar power, though he thought that if he was a Grim Reaper and there were more out there, they probably wouldn't like the fact that one of their own gave their power to a living human. So he did his best to avoid it. Learning more details about his teleportation ability, it became pretty easy. He can either focus on a point A and a point B, or focus on a particular soul and or the feeling of a corrupted soul being hollows. He just called them monsters at this point, because that's pretty much what they were to him. Monsters trying to eat the lingering souls of humans that just kind of hung around. They were pretty annoying than more than anything. He also sensed a few others that gave him a feeling of nostalgia out there. He didn't know why, but it reminded him of his mom. As for his dad, he felt something similar to his own power coming off of him. But he wasn't gonna question him about it since he was too busy acting like a fool and also fawning over the picture of his deceased wife. The man is partially crazy, partially caring, and partially an idiot. All wrapped together in apparently a doctor. So I don't even know how to explain how that happens. But he does avoid things that feel familiar due to the fact that he doesn't know what they are and he doesn't want to try to provoke anything that would lead to some complicated situation. Ichigo, as a person, more or less stayed the same. He just tended to take a lot of naps, as well as make some morbid jokes, which, with his dad as a doctor, well, didn't really fit too out of place, I suppose. With that, he grows up similar to as in canon, restraining his power whenever dealing with humans, but going full throttle on the hollows. This is where we'll be ending this part. I do hope you have enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time.